Can Peter Parker and Osborn end up unlocking the true powers of their suits? Even if that might mean coming into conflict with their original creator, well, let's hop into the pages of Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 7 and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, as we join the story, we've once again jumped ahead. This time it's July, and Peter and Harry are at Oscorp getting their super suits looked over by Otto. Mainly because Harry was never much of a tech guy, and in this universe it seems that Peter never kept up with his own super science, meaning they absolutely need a man in the chair in the form of Otto. We actually learn a little bit more about what brought Octavius into the Oscorp fold. Apparently he was handpicked by Norman himself when he was still alive. Norman saw a lot of himself in a young Otto, and was pretty much never shy to tell Harry to his face that Otto was the son that he wanted. Ouch, 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 no wonder this dude is absolutely riddled with friggin' complexes. For what it's worth though, Dr. Octavius is brilliant, and he's managed to make some pretty startling breakthroughs when it comes to the Green Goblin and Spider-Man suit. While they are indeed both Stark tech in this brand new Ultimate Universe, they are not the same. Oh sure, they may operate on the same network. In fact, that's the whole reason that Green Goblin was able to shut down Spider-Man's suit when they first met, but upon digging deeper, what we realize is, while the Green Goblin suit is cutting edge, it's also very malleable. Otto and Harry have been able to go on in and change stuff from front to back. The Spider-Man suit, though, is more of an abnormality. It actually seems to be changing and evolving, and it's a lot harder to mess with. What Otto really wants to experiment with today is the suit's AI capabilities. Oh yes, it seems that both of these suits actually have within them the abilities to be so much more, to think and react on the fly. Otto's created a series of profiles based on important people from history. And while Peter thinks that this is a slippery slope and a dangerous idea, Harry wants to try it out. Oh no, he doesn't want to give his suit over to Abe Lincoln or Mahatma Gandhi. No, Harry sees this high-tech AI experiment as a chance to commune with his father once again, or at least commune with an AI version of Norman. Cause you know, mixing Osborn's goblins and AIs together has never been a recipe for absolute disaster, am I right? But we'll circle back to this in a minute. In a very hard-working B story, we once again check back on in with Ben and Jonah. It seems today they're meeting their Deep Throat style contact in a parking garage. And wouldn't you know it, this contact actually turns out to be none other than Robbie Robertson. Despite him seeming all too eager to suck up to the corrupting forces at the Daily Bugle, it seems that deep down in his heart of hearts, he's still a newsman and wants to try and support Jonah and Ben's new endeavor at the paper from inside the belly of the beast. After all, if Robbie was to find a major, important, world-changing story, it's not like the Bugle as it stands right now would let him print it, but this way though, Robbie can actually make it so that the people actually do learn the important truth. Though Mr. Robertson sure as hell better be careful, because he's playing with fire right now, and one wrong step and he might very well end up earning the wrath of the true powers that be within this brand new Maker universe. Naturally, I'm of course talking about the Kingpin Wilson Fisk and his master, Captain Britain. We actually learn in this issue that Fisk never actually got to meet the Maker before he ended up getting locked away in Latveria. Fisk also has to come to Henry Duggery today with his hat in hand and apologize for losing one of his important assets in the form of Bullseye. Only here's the thing. Turns out in this brand new Ultimate Universe, Bullseye isn't just one guy. They grow him in a tank by the looks of it, and Captain Britain has come with a whole hit squad of Bullseyes in hopes that they can apprehend the Cabal's foes in the form of Spider-Man and Green Goblin. Here's the twist though, Kingpin actually turns this aid down, figuring that if he truly is the Kingpin, and if he wants to live up to that name and properly rule over his fiefdom, he needs to punish his enemies on his own, and after all, he almost killed Peter and Harry last time. So why not just wait a little longer, right? In fact, Wilson says he doesn't have just one plan to take down Spider-Man and Green Goblin, he has 6, which, you know, is a pretty important number given the history of Spider-Man. Now from there we transition back on over to Harry and Peter, who are running AI tests in another abandoned Oscorp warehouse. Harry fires up the Norman AI first, and right away it's like Norman is alive again, a ghost in the machine, who also wastes absolutely no time berating his son as a failure. And oh man, I think we can all see where exactly this is going right now, right? In the main universe, Harry was often tortured by mental projections of his disapproving and abusive father, and here in this universe universe, Harry has quite literally hotwired his brain to hear all the worst shit that his father could possibly say from beyond the grave, activating all of his complexes once again. Spider-Man, on the other hand, chose to hear his own voice running the suit's AI system, which basically means Peter hears his own running internal monologue, which is really the exact opposite of Harry in every way, shape, or form. In fact, for once, it seems like Peter's actually in a good place in his own mind with his internal monologue gassing him up, telling him he's a good man and a good father. Geez, AI technology is really scary and will probably end up destroying art and culture as we know it if we're not careful, but do they make these for YouTubers? Because I would love something to gas me up and tell me I'm doing a good job. In the end, Harry, fueled by anger and disappointment, actually ends up winning the training exercise. Because as it stands right now, it is still just an exercise, but oh, I would bet dollars to donuts that that's probably gonna change in the not too distant future. Now, it's right here at the end the story ends up taking a major left turn. You see, Otto says that there's actually a third person now on the old Stark Tech network. A person who has found them, a person who is ultimately revealed to be Anthony Stark, aka Iron Lad. If you've been reading the Ultimates book, you'll know that Tony has been going out of his way to try and start a superhero revolution by kickstarting the origin stories for multiple different superpowered individuals that the Maker had tried to stop. Now 6 months have passed and Iron Lad has come to collect from Spider-Man, asking him as the comic comes to a close, hey, are you a hero yet? And so that was Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 7, everybody, and if you couldn't hear by the genuine sound of enthusiasm in my voice, I thought this one was another absolute humdinger. You can really see Hickman planting seeds here that he plans to harvest in the future. I love this fresh, new, interesting, more modern take on Harry Osborn. Instead of suffering from a history of family-based mental illness, now Harry is haunted by his father via technology. How long until Norman Osborn decides he doesn't want to just be an AI anymore and tries to control the suit himself? Hell, what does this mean for Peter and his own suit? Could we potentially see some manner of new twist on the symbiote story here? Perhaps Peter's own AI gets corrupted? Which could potentially lead to Black Suit Spider-Man and maybe even Venom? If so, I think that would be a very interesting tech thriller updating to the classic alien goo story. This issue also probably features the most direct references to everything else that's going on in the Ultimate line right now. Captain Britain talks about getting beaten up by an Iron Lad in the Ultimates, and Iron Lad himself even shows up at the end of the issue trying to recruit Spider-Man into his team. I have to wonder, what will that mean for the future? It seems with the whole ticking clock concept, all of these books are leading up to one big giant mega crossover. Maybe something like, oh, I don't know, Ultimate Marvel Universe 1 year, which got announced at San Diego Comic-Con this year? If so, that'll actually end up being a really clever way to pace out this universe. Start with a few books, give us a solid timeline, and then build out from there within a year. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one another very positive 9 out of 10. Ultimate Spider-Man continues to impress, and while there's still plenty of time to go, I think this one is an easy shoo-in for one of the very best of the year. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.